What's up, guys? In this video, we finish the blaster up, put the new top end on, and get it running. So let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and finish this rear end up. I have a new bolt with the nut. We're going to use that. We're going to pull this one out, put that in. We're just going to snug it up until we put the chain on. And then we're going to put a ratchet strap on the grab bar and pull it up. That way we can put the correct bolts in for the shock. And then that will tidy up the rear end because we're not going to mess with the rear brake. We're going to put a hydraulic one on there. And then we're going to work our way forwards until we get this thing done. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the gas tank. We're going to move the head pipe so we can get the top end off. We're going to put the new top end on, put some fresh fuel in the tank, and try to get this thing to fire up. And when we do get it fired up, we'll do a break-in on it. And then we should be about done. We'll throw the chain on, the shifter, and the stator cover, which we have all that here. Here's our gaskets, head gasket, new piston, our cylinder we did our port work to. Looking nice. Shifter, stator cover, and stator gasket. But yep, we're going to go ahead and start tearing this apart and get into the top end so we can put the new top end in. Well, as you know, we just took the head pipe off, and when I took it off, I went to set it down. I heard something rattling down in this part here, so I flipped it over, and something made a nest in there. Bunch of little nuts and some, looks like insulation in that. That's a couple times I was banging around on the pipe. But yeah, so it helps to actually check before you stick something on that's been sitting, especially two-stroke pipes, I guess. Makes a perfect little home for a little rodent. There's a hole right here already, just a wee little pinhole. I'm going to go ahead and drill that a little bigger. That way I can get this wire right in here and try to get that stuff broke up and pushed out the ends, and we can get it cleared out. And I'll go ahead and plug weld it, and after I get done plug welding it, I'll go ahead and paint this up. But we're going to go ahead and throw it back on the blaster and see if this bike will fire up with the old top end, just see how it sounds. But we're going to go ahead and still put this top end on because I told you guys I would. That's the whole reason why we did the porting and all that to it. And I'm sure some of you guys are wondering how it's going to perform. So we'll go ahead and still put this cylinder back on, because like I said, we have no idea how many hours or if that is even good. But we'll see if it will even fire up. If it does, that's cool. If not, that's why we're putting this one on. But yep, just wanted to give you guys a little update, and we're going to keep going forwards. All right, so I got the gas tank on, head pipe on. We're just going to see if it'll run, just to see what it sounds like in that, even if the whole top end would run. So yeah, let's see what it does. Must ran out of gas. Well, the old top end runs. I mean, that's about it, because we're going to put on the new one. That's kind of nice to know. At least we know we got a backup. If we don't want to spend any money, we can throw that top end back on if that one fails. So, alrighty. Alright, so this is the silencer to the blaster. When we had that old top end running, I noticed there was a lot of pressure coming out that hole we had drilled. I still got to patch that, fill it in, and I noticed there wasn't hardly anything coming out. So I decided to tear this apart and found out whatever was in the head pipe had blown into here and got stuck right there. So I've been messing with this probably for a half hour. And this is the last little bit right here. So all this looks like insulation and whatever the rodents could find. All this right here was packed into this portion here. So now that's cleared out. We'll put this back together, continue on tearing the top end apart, and get this blaster running. Alrighty, so got the top end off. The piston actually looks in really good shape. There's a little bit of scuffs right here, but just normal wear it looks like. It's been scuffed up before, like decarboned. The rings look like they're in really good shape. So, I mean, this wouldn't be a bad just backup top end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress the ring, slide the piston in the cylinder, and then just set it on the shelf. But what we need from this cylinder is the cylinder head, the intake boot, the reed cage, and then these two exhaust studs. We need to take them off. I'm going to go ahead and do that and put it on our new top end, and then we'll put the top end together. Alright, so we got the blaster back together. We got the new top end on. We're about to get this thing fired up and do a break-in. If you guys were wondering what type of two-stroke oil I'm running in this, it's Klutz R50. I always run my two-stroke oil at 32:1. I typically run Maxxis Super M. I'll have a little picture right here for you guys of what that bottle looks like. This is the other stuff I use if I can't get the Super M. I really like the Super M. Used it for years. Never had an issue with any of my bikes seizing up or anything. And I used the R50 the last couple times because I was able to get this, and I've had pretty good luck with this also. I typically try to stick with one oil, that way I'm not switching back and forth. But right now I'm running the R50 because I was able to get a few bottles of this, and I wasn't able to get the Maxxis Super M. But yep, we're gonna go ahead and try to get this thing fired up, and we'll do a break-in when it starts up. We got it running. Heck yeah. Doesn't sound too bad with the stock head pipe and the Pro Circuit silencer on it. For what we got into it, we don't really have that much money into the whole bike. Like I said, most of this is parts that I had laying around. And carburetor sounds like it's going to work out pretty well. It has a little bit of steps when it's decelerating. When you punch the throttle, when it's coming down, it has a little bit of steps. Usually you can fix that with just adjusting the air screw a little bit. That way it comes down real nice and slow. But we're going to let it cool down now. That way we can do our next heat cycle. I'm going to do 3 heat cycles on this, and then we'll take it out and rip it around. But it's coming along. We're going to go ahead and, while it's cooling down, we're going to put the stator cover on, the shifter on, and put the chain on. That way when we get done with the heat cycles, we can take this thing out and rip it. Alrighty guys, as you can see, the blaster runs. It moves under its own power. This thing's just going to be a fun bike to have around. We'll do future videos of hill climbs, riding out on the trails, just playing in the fields, just stuff like that. We'll also see how long this Chinese top end lasts. Who knows, it may last a long time. It may blow up the next ride, who knows. But if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. Leave comments down below. If you want to watch the last video, please click over here. If you guys want to become a subscriber, click over here. I'll catch you guys next time.